Okay, this is Algebra 1, Lesson 12, not 11. We're going to talk about symbols of inclusion and more order of operation. We learned earlier that the first one, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, is parentheses. Well, this means all symbols of inclusion. We agree that parentheses, that's pretty easy, and braces, and brackets. We added an absolute value. We're also going to include this. This is called a division bar. Okay? That's just another way of writing division, yes? Because we're going to consider that parentheses. So what do we mean? Let's look at this example here. So when we do order of operation, we've got to do symbols of inclusion first, which are all under parentheses. So let's look at this. 4 plus 3 times 2 over 5 times 2 minus 3. So we go parentheses. Do we have any parentheses? Yes, we have a division bar. It divides the numerator from the denominator. So we simply must simplify the numerator first. Then we simplify the denominator. So what do? So once we know this is a division bar, we have to treat these separately. So we're going to do the numerator first. We go back to P. Do we have parentheses? Yes, we do. We have 3 times 2. So you simply do 4 plus 6. No exponents, multiplication, division, which we did inside parentheses, and then addition and subtraction. 4 plus 6 is simply 10. Now we do the denominator. Do inside parentheses first. You have to exclude all that. That says 2 minus 3, not 2 times negative 3. Remember, we said if we have a plus or minus between symbols, whether it be parentheses or numbers, that means plus or minus. So 2 minus 3 is a negative 1. So you have 5, and this parentheses means times a negative 1. So multiplication division, what's 5 times negative 1? It's simply negative 5. So we've got 10 over negative 5, or simply now we can simplify this. It's a division, right? So it's going to be negative 2. So we first have to do our symbols of inclusion, which is a division bar. Means you do the numerator, and then you do the denominator. Then you get to here. Do we have any exponents left? No. Do we have multiplication or division? No. Yes, we have division, right? Doesn't that mean division bar? But because we're simplified down into 2 numbers, we can now divide. And that's the order of operation. So let's look at example 12.5. It simply says if you have negative 3 times 4 minus 2 minus negative 5, you're going to have 4 minus 3 times negative 3. Okay, we have symbol of inclusion. We have a division bar. Therefore, we must do the numerator first, then the denominator. So let's start with the numerator. Start all over. Do we have parentheses? Yes, this is 4 minus 2, not 4 times negative 2. That's a subtraction sign. Can't see that. Okay, so we write negative 3 times 4 minus 2 is 2 minus a negative 5. Okay. We can break this down to say, well, we start all over. We did the parentheses, now exponents, so we do multiplication. Don't you have, isn't this a negative 3? Since there's not a number in front of here, this symbol goes to this 3. It's a sign number. Negative 3 times what? A positive 2. Gives me negative 6. Don't I have an implied negative 1? That parentheses means times. It's negative times what's inside that parentheses. Negative 1 times negative 5 is going to be positive 5. Now let's go and keep going. Negative 6 plus 5 is simply negative 1. Now let's do the denominator. Do I have parentheses? Yes, I do, but I have nothing to simplify inside them. So the next thing is exponents. No exponents. Do I have multiplication and division? Yes, I do. I have, this is an implied negative 1. Negative 1 times 3 times a negative 3. So I have a negative and a negative is going to give me a positive. 3 times 3 is 9 times 1 is 9. So I'm going to get 4 plus 9. What's 4 plus 9? 13. Or simply negative 1 over 13. That's simply your answer. That is it for lesson 12.